Hello Capricorn and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. This is your mid-month check-in for August. So let's see what is coming through for you. So we are moving from Leo season into your fellow earth sign Virgo, which should be a nice transition. We still have Mercury retrograde for most of the month, and Mercury does turn direct at the end of August, and we have a cracker of a full moon on the 19th in Aquarius, which is quite dramatic. So we shall see what's coming in for you. Let's see. Oh, nice and calm. Knight of Crystals, endurance and determination. Okay, this is the Knight of Pentacles, so it is an earth energy, which is really nice. The Knight of Pentacles likes to go slow here. We have the beautiful, I just want to have a look at this. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Some of you, for whatever reason, I want to be warm and protected around the throat. So it may be some of you might get colds. I don't usually get something like that in my readings, Capricorn, but just, you know, all the usual things to fortify colds, and that can just be a change in the seasons, absolutely. But sometimes when they're showing me that it could come in when you're feeling a bit run down or you're going through an energetic shift in some way. So health-wise, I want you to, as I'm saying that, I'm getting a funny throat. Health-wise, I want you to look, thanks, Stella, she knocked over the card. I want you to look after yourself a little bit. So just take care of yourself, be gentle with yourself, and understand what I get is that they keep showing me this energy shifting. There's energy really slowly shifting like a fog. And it's shifting and something shifting and changing form in your life. And it's about, and it feels slow and gradual, so it doesn't feel too dramatic, which is good. Well, it depends what you want. You might want it to be dramatic and fast, but it's it feels slow. Like I keep getting this sense of I'm getting foggy energy, but it doesn't necessarily feel bad. It's just knowing you're going through this shift in perception and just waiting for the fog to clear. It does feel like there's a shift, a tone shift in frequency in some way. And there's a little bit of waiting that's needed here as I'm just waiting for this energy to move through what it needs to move through, because I know there's a necessary transition here. It's like a real transition energy coming through for you, Capricorn, which is fascinating. So yeah, we have the beautiful camel. The camel is the survivor. It can survive very long journeys, periods of time, and endurance and determination may be needed for moving through this energy. Like I said, there's a lot of Saturn, your planetary ruler, that is slowing things down, perhaps bringing delays. There's also a lot of Mercury retrograde. So it feels like you don't want to push something too hard and too fast. It just needs something, potentially needs a little bit of extra time, and it's just understanding that. So let's see. And I think I just get you understand it. Of all the signs you're getting this, it's kind of feels like it's at the right pace for you for whatever reason. So let's see. So what have we got? Shifting and changing. Wand, King, Leo, Crown, reversed, and Pentacle 3, Venus, Capricorn. Yeah, interesting. So what you're wanting from a situation is going to change. As a dynamic around you, this could be, these are people, like energy flows between people. So the 3 of Pentacles can be work dynamics. It can also just be how energy is flowing in turn between you and somebody around you, like a group. It's a group energy. But because it's the pentacle, it's like very tangible. It's, you know, you're doing stuff together. It's practical even. And it's like, yeah, it's, you're changing the way you're doing something, or changing the way this group dynamic is working, perhaps even, so there could be some reworking, revisioning, but also changing what you want maybe for this group or how you want to interact with this group. So it's, but I do feel like you're kind of standing back, almost observing or waiting for these changes to play out in some way. Like it's, you're keeping an eye on it, but not pushing it too much is the feeling I'm getting. But what you want from a dynamic is going to change. And it feels like there's more than one person here. This is not a one-on-one dynamic. It's a group energy that's coming in here with this. So it also might mean that you're internalizing a leadership role with this rather than being really overtly like directing It's more like you're internalizing and really understanding, okay, something's shifting here and I need to understand what's the best direction for this. So, yeah, it's quite fascinating, Capricorn. But, yeah, Venus Capricorn, absolutely. It's potentially you're working a lot with relationships. You're potentially working a lot with money. You're working with something that you value. So you want this to have a value add in some way or to feel valuable within this situation. And it could be a lot to do with productivity as well, collaboration and productivity, like how something is working in your life. So this actually feels good. It may also be that you're around somebody that you don't respect as the leader. That's another thing that's coming in with it, Capricorn, is if you're around somebody that you're thinking, I don't respect your leadership style, with any group there is somebody who naturally takes that sort of alpha leadership role with any group dynamic. It just naturally happens. It's like you might have to, it's a sense of I will put up with this for a little while, but I'm not forever. It's like I'm observing what's happening here. So leadership is a really interesting concept, how people are leading, how you respect these people, and how that is mirrored back in those leadership qualities within yourself as well. And who you want to follow, how that works and who you want to lead. So it's an interesting energy coming through here for you, Capricorn. And I just feel like you're wanting to make something really work for you in your life when it comes to working with these people, these dynamics. And you've got an opportunity to kind of go into a bit of a deep analysis about it. I would say it's almost like pulling apart the parts. Here's the King of Wands again. So this is a really strong kind of personal energy in your life. The Ten of Cups, you're going to be happy in the near future, which is nice. We've got a lot of kind of Leo energy, which makes sense because we are in Leo season, but we will be moving into Virgo season. So you can, all the things like the Leo energy, whenever we go into a season, we work with the energy of that season. So Leo energy can be a lot to do with leadership, but then so is Capricorn. So it's where you potentially might be noticing different leadership styles or things that you like and don't like within a situation. You might be working with a manager or maybe you're managing something, but yeah, it's very much working with this energy. Here comes the Emperor now. So it's very strong fire kind of energy around you. The Page of Pentacles, I feel like it's stuck. There's something else behind it. Okay, the Moon, hiding. Interestingly, the Moon card represents things that are hidden or concealed or aren't clear. So maybe some underlying issues and problems that are coming in, and the Death card. Yeah, you want to transform this situation. There could be some major endings, even changes to leadership here or leadership style, leadership within a group. So yeah, it's all these wands also represents passion, but it's something tempered here. So it's understanding what feels right for you, what you're feeling passionate about, but it's almost like you're just going slowly in this observer mode rather than jumping straight in, which is what the King of Wands and the Emperor does like to do, can be impetuous sometimes or forceful even. It's more of a calm approach that's coming in or is needed. So we have as a situation the Six of Pentacles, and this is all about balance within a situation, the give and take. And when we're looking at this group dynamic here, it's like who's giving, who's taking, there's always this, within dynamics, there's always somebody that gives more and somebody that takes more. And this is looking at those balances. It also could be looking at pay differentials, like maybe people are getting pay rises, or you're looking at what your value, what you're worth, what you think you should be getting paid. So there could be some stuff around wages and finance that come in around this. The Six of Pentacles can sometimes represent promotions. But it also is, it just is this sense of balance, looking at the balance. It can be looking at responsibility, people's roles within the situation, because I kept getting it's like this sense of you're breaking down the parts and analysing the parts of something that's, I'm kind of getting mostly people, but it can be that you're analysing something that you're working on. Say you're breaking it into parts and then working out how those parts work, a bit like a cogs in a watch, say. So it's like, but if we apply that to a situation where we're looking at collaboration and productivity in your life and how these energy flows are working. And it could even be you're looking at flow charts, quite literally, org charts, flow charts, or how things like funnels, sales funnels, it could be all sorts of stuff like that that's coming in, or just in general, how energy is flowing, how practical and efficient is something in your life. So you're wanting to make it a little bit more efficient. So you're using the passion, the creativity, the sort of leadership energy of the Leo, and then moving into Virgo, you're like, right, now I'm going to make that into some kind of well-oiled wheel that works really efficiently and make this thing here work really well in my life. So the Six of Pentacles definitely is about giving and taking. If you're looking at things like tax, you might look at things like tax offsets and things like giving to charity and stuff like that can come through. It is crossed by the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups, again, two sixes crossing each other. The Six of Cups represents emotional harmony and balance. So it's kind of like if somebody's not pulling their weight, or somebody's not being productive, or someone is taking too much or giving too much, or somebody's not doing their role, fulfilling their role in the right way, or taking responsibility, then that upsets everybody, the balance, the emotional balance of the group. So it feels like the answer lies in getting everybody, all these things working. So working well. So in your conscious mind, we've got the Sun. This is the card of happiness, clarity, breakthroughs. So yeah, absolutely. It feels like those things are possible, and maybe they're things that you're seeking with this, with the Sun card, which is also, you know, through this process, it creates opportunities, and there could be someone might be acting. This is all about maturity. Like, it really is, somebody might be acting immature within the situation. So, and there may even be a child involved with this in some way, if this is something to do with like joint custody or finance or something like that. There might be a child involved with this. So I feel like there's a lot of like reworking this. Not necessarily for all of you, but there's just this situation is being revised in some way. How is it actually working? It could be around timeshare and all those sort of practical things like hours of the day, things like that. You might be looking at rosters and, you know, it's all these kind of stuff that is coming in just the most efficient use of your time, effort, energy is for not only you, but for the elements here. There's more than one element. At the base, we have this Ace of Wands. Okay, so it feels very much like somebody's in charge here. Somebody's the boss, because we've got that King of Wands and the Emperor around, and the Wand King is reversed. So it feels like, yeah, again, this is like questions around leadership and ownership, perhaps. Leadership, ownership, who's taking the reins, because this is what's deep down inside of you. You're something new is activating here, where it's like perhaps you want to take those reins, or perhaps you're working out what you want from this situation here. Perhaps you're getting really motivated, or perhaps you're getting driven. This could even be ambitious energy coming through around it, and connecting to your passions. So I feel like, yeah, but I sort of feel like a little bit like the Moon card here, that you're keeping it a little bit under, like keeping your cards close to your chest. Like you might be sitting back observing all this stuff, thinking about it. You might not necessarily have to share it all just yet, but it's like you're formulating all this stuff inside your mind. This could be happening as well. In the near future, you're going to be happy though with the Ten of Cups. So there is something coming in that by persisting and reworking this and bringing it into the form that you want it to be, you're going to be happy. You're going to have a little win, which is very nice. So the 10 of Cups, we have happiness, and perhaps this could be some kind of creative breakthrough for some of you as well. You're presenting as the Page of Swords, so it may be that there's a lot of communication back and forth that's coming in, a lot of ideas being thrown around, solutions. This is having an open and curious mind with the Page of Swords. It's really listening. It's about listening and hearing what's being said to you and what the messages are. So I feel like I'm sitting back observing, and people can say words at you, but not everybody listens to what those words are and what it means. And so I think that this listening energy is really, really important for you. So just be aware of even the small details of what you're hearing and what you're listening here. And it's like you're kind of collating all this information into making sense in some way, or understanding, even looking at communication styles. That's something that comes through with this. Energy surrounding you, the 7 of Wands. Now there's an opportunity here to leverage you into, or something into a much better position, but it needs a reassessment of how it's working in terms of how people are doing things. What's being done, the processes around the doing. So the 7 of Wands is also about warding off challenges as well. So this could be leadership challenges. Somebody's warding off some kind of leadership challenge or challenge of authority in some way that comes in. And hopes and fears, we have the Emperor. So the Emperor stands strong against those challenges, is not only turning up as the King of Wands, it's more like I'm the Emperor, not the King of Wands. So the Emperor is a strong energy and can withstand any kind of challenges. The Emperor is about stepping into your power, your authority, taking control of a situation. So whether this is what you want to do, or whether you want somebody else to do this, or whether you don't want somebody else to do this is hopes and fears. So it can be paradoxical, but again, I feel like it's got a lot to do with authority and how you're feeling respected within a situation and how you're respecting somebody else's authority or leadership style. So here we have the Moon. Again, I feel like behind the scenes, the Moon is very kind of under the cloak of darkness, very secretive. Here's this solution that you're coming up with, the Page of Pentacles. Okay, I've come up with an idea, a solution, and could be something quite subterranean, or something you were working on behind the scenes, or something that comes up from your subconscious even. But again, it's this sense of you don't want to share, even like intellectual property, you don't want to share all your ideas with somebody, or you need to have that kind of energy for it to, you don't want, for it to take the right form. You kind of need your space with this, Capricorn. And we've got next to it the Queen of Cups, which is Cancer energy, the sign Cancer, and this is your opposite sign. So the Queen of Cups is very caring. So it's almost like it's a caring approach. So it can be where there's underlying issues within this situation, and perhaps there's some kindness and compassion might be needed within this situation. Somebody might need a little bit of that, is what I'm feeling here. And so, it feels like this is a very kind and compassionate solution that can come through, that it just, I feel like you need to be somebody needs to feel cared for. And that message needs to kind of get to that person that's part of this. Or this might be you that feels like you need to hear that message as well. So we have as an overall energy the Death card, and this is the card of transformation, like endings, birth, death, rebirth. The Death card is saying there's almost like a culling. There's a culling of energy, old energy, unnecessary energy, so that it needs to make way for the new. So the way that this has to happen has to be treated with sensitivity, I would say. This releasing and discarding of the old unnecessary kind of, it could be editing, re-editing, reworking something. You know, I don't need all that, cut all that out, blah, 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 blah. But it could also be to do with work processes, things that are just not efficient. This is where we're cutting out all the stuff that isn't efficient. And it, again, I get that it just needs to be not ruthless. I want to say it's just not ruthless. Sometimes I can get the boom, 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 you're in your, like being a King of Swords kind of thing and just going, yep, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, very kind of ruthless, want that. I'm like that when I'm throwing things out of the house. When I'm doing a big cleanup, I go into ruthless mode. I possibly throw too many things out. I just go, does it bring me joy? No. Out. It's going. And then I regret it later, to be honest, sometimes. So I'm like, oh, I wish I'd kept that because it might have sentimental value, or maybe somebody else really liked it and cared for it. But I was just like, no, we don't need that. Haven't used it for a year. It's gone. And it kind of feels like it needs a softening of the approach. Not like that. So it sort of feels like you might go, you know, consider somebody else. Somebody's feelings needs to be considered here throughout the process. So it needs to a very kind and caring, compassionate approach as well. So, yeah, that is the feeling I'm getting with it. So just like I said, it's not the King of Swords. For whatever reason, they're showing me the King of Swords. It's the Queen of Cups. So it's like, trust your feelings, trust your emotions with something, honor some feelings here, listen to those feelings about how, or somebody's feelings about, or even your own feelings, if you're feeling like that's being, you know, trampled on in some way, or there's deception here in some way. These feelings need to be carefully considered and honoured. Yes. So let's pull an affirmation card for you, Capricorn, and see what is coming through. Let's pull an affirmation card for you. Oh, and see what we've got. We've got, I am flexible and flowing. I am open to the new and changing. Well, that's a bit the Queen of Cups as well. She's flexible and flowing with that water there. I'm open to the new and changing. I feel like the Queen of Cups is more like the approach, or that somebody needs to be approached carefully. Okay, every moment presents a wonderful new opportunity to become more of who I am. I flow with life easily and effortlessly. And interestingly, that's a good point, because this is all about the flow. And so if we're wanting to create like some really nice flow here within this situation, they're saying the best way is to be flexible and flowing, but also to be the Queen of Cups, as in you're trusting how you're feeling, you're connected to your feelings, you're connected to your intuition, you're intuitively working with how you're feeling here, and being very flexible and flowing with how you're initiating things, conversations, new directions, stuff like that. So we're doing animal oracle cards this mid-month instead of charms, Capricorn. So let's see what animal oracle energy is coming in for Capricorn. Let's see, what is the energy you're working with in the second half of August? It is stormy weather with the astrology for the second half of August. It calms down kind of right at the very end of the month. So, but I feel like with this camel energy, endurance and determination, you've got this, you've got the energy. And interestingly, the camel has the water inside it, which is what this Queen of Cups is using those emotions, that intuition, to get to kind of feel your way through a lot of this energy. And I feel like, it's a lot of managing situations, managing workload, managing people around you, perhaps bringing in a lot of more efficiencies into your world. And it feels like there's hard work here, but you're going to be okay. We've got rabbit. Okay. Interesting. Little rabbit wants to jump into a whole heap of things. It's really enthusiastic, but at the same time, rabbit can be fearful. It can be a fearful energy. So I feel like actually what I get with rabbit is anxiety. I feel like it's about managing anxiety, whether it's your anxiety or someone around you is anxious. I get a lot of anxiety. I don't normally get this with rabbit, but sort of like a nervousness and anxiety. And I feel like that this is something that, like the rabbit is the element of earth, that downward pointed triangle with the line through it is earth. So it's like, I want to feel safe within this situation and I want to not feel anxious. So I think this is a really important thing that you might want to manage as well, whether it's, like I said, your own or somebody else's. And I want to kind of come in and feel a lot calmer because the rabbit's not feeling super safe at the moment. That's the feeling I'm getting, kind of agitated, jumpy, anxious. So this is an energy where however it presents, I feel like it's something that would be good for you to work out ways to manage this and work through this with either you or somebody else as well. That's what I'm getting with rabbit, which is interesting. Because, you know, the positive side of rabbit, if, you know, sometimes nervous excitement feels the same as anxiety, I feel like the positive side of rabbit is they want to get excited about something and jump into something new, but there's this sort of static energy or frenetic energy around it that it sort of feels nervous. There's a nervousness. So feeling nervous about something. So, I mean, those feelings can all be pretty interchangeable, but I feel like I just want to calm the nervous system down of rabbit for the moment so that they can feel like they can jump around and jump into something new and get excited about something and feel more grounded with it. So that's an energy you might want to be working with as well with this I am flexible and flowing. The other thing with rabbit is that you don't want to be too flexible and flowing that somebody's jumping around too much and it's not efficient. It's like boom, 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 you're jumping from one thing to the next, and it's like, okay, well, you might have to be really flexible and flowing and go, well, I'm doing this, doing over there, but you want it to be working. You don't want it to be distracted or inefficient. If you are jumping from this to that, then there needs to be the good flow that's happening here. There's a reason for it, rather than I'm just doing it because, hey, look, pretty shiny thing over there, rather than focusing. So again, I feel like these questions of focus and versus distraction, nervousness versus feeling excited and grounded, and there's sort of like it's right on the edge. It could go one way or the other, and it's just managing these energies so that they can work towards the positive side rather than something that feels debilitating or is destructive in any way or causing issues within for whatever reason. So that's your reading, Capricorn. I feel like there's actually really positive solutions coming in with this, and you're reworking something and really being called into more of a leadership energy or to just really work out what you want from a situation. And you can transform this situation here. There might even only be a small solution, but it's something that could really transform it. So that's your reading. Thank you so much for joining me. Follow me on Instagram. Please take care. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Love to read your comments. All of that helps with the growth of the channel. And take care, Capricorn.